Salt Lake City, AP, reminders of the 2002 Winter Olympics are nestled in every nook and cranny of Utah's capital city, from a towering Olympic cauldron that overlooks the Salt Lake Valley to an Olympic emblem stamped on manhole covers downtown. As visitors leave the airport, they are greeted with a can't-miss Olympic arch amid snow-capped mountains in a message essential to Salt Lake City's bid to host the Games again: you are entering an Olympic city. Unlike so many other past hosts that have decided bringing back the Games isn't worth the time, money or hassle, Salt Lake City remains one of the few places where Olympic fever still burns strong. That enduring enthusiasm will be on full display Wednesday when members of the International Olympic Committee descend on northern Utah for their final site visits ahead of a formal announcement expected this July to name Salt Lake City the host for 2034. In the more than 2 decades since Salt Lake City first opened its nearby slopes to the world's top winter athletes, the pool of potential hosts has shrunk dramatically. The sporting spectacular is a notorious money pit, and climate change has curtailed the number of sites capable of hosting future winter competitions. Meanwhile, Utah has spent millions to ensure its Olympic facilities didn't fall into disrepair while also working to ensure residents preserve fuzzy feelings about the Games themselves. Even though Salt Lake City got caught in a bribery scandal that nearly derailed the 2002 Winter Olympics, it has worked its way back into the good graces of an Olympic committee increasingly reliant on enthusiastic communities as its options dwindle. The city is now a prime candidate if Olympic officials eventually form a permanent rotation of host cities. The Olympic Committee was left with only 2 bid cities for 2022, Beijing, China, and Almaty, Kazakhstan, after financial, political and public concerns led several European contenders to drop out. The International Olympic Committee needs Salt Lake City a lot more than Salt Lake City needs the International Olympic Committee, or the Olympics, said Jules Boykoff, a sports and politics professor at Pacific University. For Utah Governor Spencer Cox, securing the Olympic bid is central to his goal of cementing the state as North America's winter sports capital. Cox has continued a long-running push by state leaders to beckon professional sports leagues and welcome international events like last year's NBA All-Star Game that could help burnish its image as a sports and tourism mecca, while chipping away at a lingering stigma that Utah is a bizarre, hyper-religious place. More than half of the state's 3.4 million residents and the majority of state leaders belong to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, widely known as the Mormon Church.